Okay, in terms of the theory, we read around the theory and we encountered a number of different perspectives.
One of the first perspectives that got us started on looking at these words was the lexicographical work of, in particular, of Dr. Samuel Johnson. I don't know if you know or not, but he was the first person who tried to write a dictionary of the English language, and he spent 9 years processing and writing down definitions for the English words. And at the end of the process, and after a time of he thought about it, he actually came back and said that it's almost impossible to do because language is always changing and words and definitions are impacted on from different cultures, ideas and concepts and backgrounds, which fits into the whole idea of the use of task words.
Another perspective is a literary one, and we were just reading Borges, Jose Luis Borges, the Argentinian writer and poet. Now, Borges says, quote, "Words are symbols that assume a shared memory." Now, if the word is something like cat, it doesn't actually need to have a shared memory because you can see it. Now, if it's a word like discuss, however, which deals with sort of quite complex concepts, people will be using the word discuss in the way that they are told to do by their own memory, and they'll probably assume that other people will be using it in the same way. So if a lecturer is faced with a lot of students from different systems who perhaps use the word critically evaluate quite differently in their society and education system, this is a problem, and it needs to be explored.
This is something that philosophically was explored by Aristotle. He had the whole topic section on questioner and answerer. And the way we looked at that is that the questioner, the teacher, might ask questions based on their assumptions of understanding and culture and so on, whereas the answerer, the student, will be answering from their perspective, their approach and understanding, which could cause issues for answering tasks and assessments.
And in terms of philosophy again, another philosophical perspective, looking at the language in itself, the work of Ludwig Wittgenstein talks about how there are a number of language games, such as what he's giving orders, describing the appearance of an object, presenting the results of an experiment. Now, the key thing here is that in order to use the language and to play the games, you're going to need to use the rules. Now, if you don't know the rules because your assumed memory is different, the language has changed, and the way questions and answers are done differently, then there are problems. Now, psychologically, another perspective is that of the Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky. Now, he is critically important, very, very important to the idea of social constructivism, and this idea that reality exists as it is made or constructed by the people that speak around it. And it's this that we're kind of looking towards, that the idea of the assessment task words and this is socially constructed between the lecturer and the student.
Basically, a lot of the research we looked at suggests that if you've been in the system, the whole academic system, native to it, then you will know if you will know what you're being asked to do. And if not, if you come new to it, say as an international student or a direct entrant, then it might all be new to you. So what we're saying is that there shouldn't be an assumption of a shared memory or a shared understanding of what students are being asked to do. So our interpretation of the assessment tasks may vary due to a number of factors.
So what we're going to do now is take all this theory and take the ideas that we had from the beginning and work with this in using a question in practice.